Hey guys, this video is going to be talking about the bio that's just been released for Takeo and a overall sort of prediction for the map Zetsubou no Shima, which is due to come out on the 19th, and I will be doing a breakdown when the trailer eventually comes out. It should be coming out on Tuesday. That's what everyone thinks. We thought originally it was going to come out last Friday, but it seems to be coming out Tuesday because they've released a bio every day since then, so that's what it should be. So on this bio we can see it says Takeo Masaki, nationality Japanese, affiliation Imperial Japanese Army. So Captain Takeo Masaki comes from a noble family that has dutifully served the Emperor for decades. After the events of Der Eisendrache, Takeo's unwavering sense of loyalty will be tested as he fights alongside Tank, Nikolai and Richthofen in their quest to secure a better tomorrow. So to me, this shows came from a noble family, has dutifully served the Emperor for decades, and we already know that he is got unwavering loyalty for the Emperor, because he's so many of his quotes talk about loyalty and supporting the Emperor, and he'll give his life for the Emperor. So that's what I think the main map's gonna revolve around. It's gonna revolve around Takeo trying to serve the Emperor as best as he can, and obviously Takeo 1.0, we're gonna have to free his soul or save his soul using the summoning key. So I just want to talk about a really good theory. This is not my theory. It was posted on the COD Zombies subreddit by Ricardo Hub, and I'm just going to read this quickly. It's actually quite a good theory, and I'm going to give my take on it after I've read it. Which, I mean, I do believe a lot of this could happen. I just think some of it, and I don't want some of it, because I think some of it but would be different. It would be better if it was different, but I'll explain that after I've read it. So from this, we know that from the cipher in the Der Eisendrache that Division 9 got suspicious towards Takeo, and Division 9 is obviously it's a Division 9 facility at Zetsubou no Shima, and I'll go through the picture after this, and I'll go through my predictions as well. So on the opening cutscene, we know that Takeo 2.0, which is young Takeo, got captured, so we can assume that Takeo 1.0, which is old Takeo, also got compromised and captured. We can also assume that he's somewhere on the new map outside of a cryo chamber. So it would be dumb if Takeo is just somewhere underground in a cell, because the 2.0 crew would find them so easily. It would be pretty pointless, and I agree with that. And we see in the picture here that the facility is overgrown with plants, and it's not just normal plants, it's like pustules that are gonna explode, and obviously people think there's gonna be spores and stuff, and that's sort of been confirmed already. So the theory is that Takeo is actually under the facility in a cell. However, he's not just in his human form, but covered in 115 infected plants. He couldn't escape or fight off the plants because Division 9 took his weapons. So this is all sounds believable so far. So Takeo 1.0 is the Trasher boss. I don't know if he's called the Trasher or Thrasher, but this person's wrote it as Trasher. And obviously I'll put a link in the description to this post. In the Easter egg, we free him and we find out that he's just overgrown with plants. However, the plants are controlling his movements. The plants can shoot spores to find the players and attack them. So this is sort of similar to Advanced Warfare Exo Zombies, if any of you know. I know one of the original guys got turned into a zombie, and then he was the main boss. I think I never completed it. I only played it a bit, and I did play that map, but Exo Zombies was a bit crap. But anyway, each to their own. So that would also explain how the Trasher or Thrasher has an animation for eating a player, which could cause a death, I'm guessing you meant to say, and not a KO, which would just be being down, like insta-die rather than just downing. So the Thrasher, it's called a Thrasher here, so I think he's getting confused. So the Thrasher has two modes, neutral and berserk. In normal, he just roams the map and shoots spores. Once a player got in contact with the spores, the Thrasher tries to kill that player, and the only way to get the spores off is to swim or run a far distance. So this is sort of similar to Jorge Romero from Call of the Dead. If you guys remember, if you played that map, if you attacked him, then he would send him berserk into a rage. If you just left him, then he'd walk around the map really slowly. So that does make sense. That is quite a cool theory. The Easter egg involves getting all of the 115 infected plants from the map and getting the plants off of Takeo. In the cutscene, we see an exhausted Takeo and exhausted and injured Takeo on the ground. Takeo 2.0 is talking to him and explains that the Emperor sent him. I don't think that would make sense, because I don't think you'd have Takeo 1.0 talking to Takeo 2.0. Because like we saw with Dempsey and Horizon Draka, the first Dempsey was frozen, and they didn't speak to each other. However, in the Giant, Richthofen 1.0 and Richthofen 2.0 did actually, they did see each other. So I don't know, either way, but I don't think that will happen. So Takeo 2.0 is talking to him and explains that the Emperor sent him. 1.0 agrees to give his life for the Emperor. 2.0 then takes his katana and impales him on the ground. So that's the theory. So in this theory, the actual main boss is actually Takeo. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to actually possibly be maybe like a Japanese emperor or something, or a big emperor type character. That's what I personally think. And a few things I want to talk about in this image, so these predictions, and some of you might have seen my sort of predictions video a long way back when I went through a bit of code. I don't know if it was legit code, but it might have been, and it gave me some cool ideas. So basically things that have sort of been confirmed and things that I want and I can predict, sort of. So the spike launcher, that's pretty much a lot of people have sort of like seen that in code. I think there was a big bit of code when I wasn't around. I was away for a week, and apparently a spike launcher or something was found, and that's obviously similar to the Hive specialist that is online. I don't know what I think of that. I think that would be a bit average or boring. And then obviously on this image we can see there's a zip wire, and in the background that zip wire actually leads to another facility, and also on this facility here it does say Lab B. So obviously we can assume there's other labs, and right in the image, which I actually missed before, in the background it's sort of faded in the dark. You can see another one, so there's going to be a Lab A, possibly a Lab C. Hopefully there's more than two. That would be pretty cool. And obviously you could probably take the zip lines from each one, so it's a cool shortcut. And hopefully there's also another shortcut style thing like on Shinonuma, where you can take it's not a zip wire, but it's you take the sort of brings you up on a zip wire type thing. But I think lots of cool transport things like that take you sort of around the map will be really cool. And then obviously there's a plane in the air which is about to crash land. It's on fire, and there's a plane in the background on the right, so I hope that has some significance. Obviously that makes me think of Mob of the Dead, when obviously you build the plane and you go to the bridge, which is actually the Pack-a-Punch. I think that'd be cool, if it'd be a cool aspect. Maybe not so building the plane, but if there was actually a plane moving in the map where you could get it to do something, or maybe Dempsey 1.0 is actually on that plane or something, and you have to get it to crash land. Although that would be similar to the Horizon Draka, to the capsule that carries Dempsey. Also, lots of people think there's going to be spiders on this map. I am not too sure. I'm not too keen on spiders, but however, if they were like the equivalent of dogs, which would be every 5 rounds, then it wouldn't be too bad. I think that would be alright. And then obviously you can see the ravens in the sky, and these must have some sort of significant meaning to them, because obviously there's ravens in Horizon Draka, which people think that they mean something, but no one's figured out what they mean yet. But if they're in this map, they must mean something, otherwise they're just like Blundell is just trying to mess with us. But that's what I think for that. And also swimming in the map, I don't think I'd be too keen on that. If there was swimming in the map, I don't think swimming around with zombies would be cool. I think you'd get trapped a lot. Maybe a tiny little shortcut, obviously, but you know, I don't really, that doesn't sound that good to me. And then obviously on this map here we can see there's these like spore type things on the left on this picture, and there are like pustules things, so they could explode and possibly damage you or infect you. Like lots of people think there's going to be cyber infection, similar to Advanced Warfare Exo Zombies. So that's pretty much it. Also, one more thing, back in the prediction video I did before when I went through the code, which I thought things would be possibly an electric warlord, like the equivalent of say a Panzer or Magua. That might be quite cool if there's another type thing that comes in maybe every 6-7 rounds or something. or maybe possibly like a Japanese emperor or something. I think that'd be really cool. But I'm really looking forward to this map. It's gonna be really cool, and hopefully we'll get the trailer tomorrow. We should get it, and I'll be doing a breakdown on that. And then obviously going through if my predictions were right or not. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. If you got any ideas what you think is going to be in the map, then let me know. Leave them in the comments below. And if you did like this, leave a like and remember to subscribe. So thanks for watching.